everyone. I'm Jason Powers.
I'm Kristen Copeland. Tonight, we are remembering this area's longest-serving member of Congress and a man who meant so much to the community.
Sherwood Boehlert has passed away at the age of 84. His former chief of staff tells us he died at the Siegenthaler Center in New Hartford late last night after a brief illness.
News Channel 2's Gary Liberatore live here in the studio with more on his life and legacy. Gary, good evening.
Well, good evening. Sherwood Boehlert's name for many is synonymous with Utica and Rome and this entire region, serving our area for 24 years in Congress before retiring in 2006. The man they call Sherry has left quite a legacy.
His name is on a number of buildings in our area, and many say it's an honor much deserved.
One day the congressman comes in and points at me and goes, "You."
Tim Clancy remembers the day Sherwood Boehlert chose him as his chief of staff back in the early 80s.
It was an amazing ride. I mean, it really was. You got to remember the times of what were going on, the changes are happening in the region, both good and bad, but also to be around a person who really was one of the great members of the House of Representatives.
But before he was elected to Congress in 1982 and then served 24 years in Washington, Sherwood Boehlert was elected in 1979 as Oneida County Executive, a position now held by Anthony Pacenti, who worked with Boehlert on Boehlert's county executive campaign in '79.
You know, his work, even as a short time as county executive, was instrumental in moving this community forward, and he had a great love for Oneida County, and it showed in what he did in Congress and in what he brought home for this community.
Boehlert was considered one of the more moderate members of the Republican Party. He became an influential member of Congress, playing a central role in debates on science, environmental, and national security policy. He served as chairman of the Science Committee and was dubbed the Green Hornet for his success in protecting environmental laws.
I got to go to Antarctica with him. Now think about that. You know, part of the reason why he did that was to really introduce other members to the importance of climate change.
Boehlert's love of country in Washington was matched by his love for his own community, as he came home from Washington every weekend to see his family and his constituents.
He was a man who put his constituents first, often to his own political detriment. He insisted on constituent service.
He was really a unique individual and a great friend, and I'm totally saddened by this today. This was a great shock because Sherry was always seemed to go on forever. And always smiling, always joyful, and really a very bright and brilliant man, and of which we won't see the likes of in Congress, I don't think, in our time.
And our thoughts are with the Boehlert family tonight. He leaves behind his wife, Marianne, their 4 children and 6 grandchildren. Calling hours, we just learned, are from 3 to 6 on Sunday at Our Lady of Lourdes Church in Utica. A funeral mass at Our Lady of Lourdes is set for next Monday morning at 10 a.m. In the studio, Gary Liberatore, News Channel 2. Jason?